That burn? Good. Greetings, and welcome to the first, and perhaps, depending on the ratings, last annual Icons Got Talent. It has come to the attention of those with very little sympathy that they should develop a medium for people with special abilities to showcase their egos, for no reason I can imagine other than to submit this video to any future proceedings as Exhibit A. My name is Richard Begg, and I've worked with Icon for a few years now, and really at this point I consider this place to be an institution, because it has, to me at least, proven that not only can one lunatic be productive, when you get enough of us in a room, we can actually work together. Now don't get me wrong, I think we're all pretty civilized people, but it just takes one SR to send you over the edge. And I know this because you can't keep that SR to yourself. No. You have to let 10 other people know about it. There's something about sharing your horrible experiences with other people that just makes you feel better, I think. At the mental hospital, they do the same thing at groups, so you can see the connection here. Now, I personally enjoy working with my teammates, as I'm sure most of you pretend to do. We don't have a lot in common, but one thing we can agree on is it's too cold in this building. Those of you who sit by the windows or work in the CCO may not agree with me, but then again, you probably never had to blow dry your fingers off your keyboard. I'm sure there's a reason for this. They could be trying to preserve some of us. There might be a meat locker somewhere full of frozen former employees that they unthaw in case of a natural disaster. Not bad job security. But no, I think they keep it cold in here because outside, God is using our city for kindling. And whoever designed our parking lots in this city must have been an arsonist because he makes sure that every single car gets burned. I mean, underground parking or level parking? No. All our cars have to be laid up flat under the sun like ants on a sidewalk, just waiting for that sadistic kid with the magnifying glass to show us why he hates his dad. Other than that, I think this is a wonderful city, all 13 of them. A lot like LA, but flatter, except around the edges. Not to mention the scenery, the people, especially the people. I think we have a very attractive and eclectic group of men and women working in this building. But I do have to worry about the men. When they created the word metrosexual, that was apparently the excuse men needed to start using female hygiene products. And if you ever used the word moisturizer in high school, that was probably the first sign. Your girlfriend tells you to put those Biore strips on your nose, or you can't leave the house without putting product in your hair. You won't admit this to yourself, but I have to say this out loud because I'm guilty of this too. We are the modern day drag queens. I mean, we're not glitter and rhinestone. Senator Bernhardt is a close personal friend of mine, drag queen. We just took the parts of drag queens we liked and applied it to our everyday life. I haven't checked the mirror lately to see if my chapstick is on straight, but you know, it's always in the back of my mind. Being that my name is Richard, I do hope to follow in the footsteps of other comedians named Richard. Just not their final footsteps. You know, Richard Jenny shot himself. Richard Lewis beat a crystal meth addiction, and Richard Pryor set himself on fire. So do anything for a laugh, just not that. Richard Belzer's doing good. Richard Belzer starring in Law & Order SVU. Not getting a lot of laughs on that show, and there's a reason why he always wears sunglasses. Yeah. I'm just going to take a drink right now. That's what comedians do. That way the rest of my act doesn't sound like Nick Nolte. Good actor, by the way, Nick Nolte. You should see him in Three Fugitives with Martin Short. It's a good movie. Pretty good. Now, before I go, I did want to bring up a serious subject. Can we lower the lights? No? Okay, fine. Many of us have and are dealing with various degrees of financial stress, be it at the grocery store or local pharmacy, or just everyday items like hula hoops and vegetarian cigarettes. But all that pales in comparison to the thing that I find the most aggravating, movie tickets. 10 years ago, you could take your whole family to the movies for under $20. Now when you go, you have to leave one of them behind as collateral. And I'm sympathetic to the theaters because I know that they don't see a dime from those tickets initially. Most of that money goes to the studios for the first few weeks anyway. That's why they charge so much for concessions. They ought to be giving you college credit for it. First of all, not every movie is worth $10, or for that matter, should cost $100 million to make. They could save a lot of money by putting Johnny Depp in a pirate ship made out of paper mache and borrowing a backdrop they got from some local drama club at a nearby high school. And they could cut out a lot of overhead too if they got rid of all that CGI. This way, if somebody wanted to take care of Jar Jar Binks, they could do it because he'd be right there. And I bet you George Lucas wouldn't be sitting in his office making terrible mistakes like that if people could actually see the thing first. Secondly, studios need to hire more new-named actors. They're just as talented, and they don't cost $20 million to sign. This way, we don't see the same actors over and over again, and they don't end up casting Tom Hanks as Tupac. Less is more is what I'm saying. A lot of you may find that your home entertainment center has surpassed the allure of the Cineplex, but you know, I still enjoy going to the movies. It's nostalgic. You went there when you were a kid, you have a lot of good memories there. Granted, most of the movies you see will give you head trauma, and some of the people you meet there will forget how to dress in public, or get a babysitter, or just shut that gaping void they call a mouth. But once in a while, you do see a movie that gets to you, leaves an impression, and it sticks with you even after you leave the theater. You know, you're talking about it with somebody. It's nice. That doesn't work when you're at home, though, because at home, when the movie's over, you decide to go to your computer and open an email to watch a video of a monkey peeing into his own mouth. Kind of my little gripe there. And drive-in theaters. Drive-in theaters used to be a place where you could start a family. Now it's nothing but families. I think they should have 2 separate drive-in theaters. One for adults who are considering having children but like to be uncomfortable when they're doing it, and another for couples who've already made that mistake. And that is how you keep tradition alive. Well, I want to thank you for watching my nervous breakdown. I want to dedicate this to George Carlin and Bernie Mac. I'm sure them and Lenny Bruce have a lot to complain about up in heaven. And I also want you to please remember to always watch your kids around water, but ignore them around everything else. You can cut the film, Vern. Vern? Vern? Ah, great. I'm the one doing comedy, and he's the one that dies on his feet. I mean, how do you even do that? Never mind. You give someone a simple job to do, and they can't stay alive long enough to do it. Oh well. Vern's an old reference. I doubt anyone would remember who he is anyway. This isn't a problem, though. I think I can take care of this. I just need someone to help me clean this up. Clean, clean. Cleaning. Cleaning lady. Lupe.
Well, we're moving on up, to the east side, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. Moving on up, to the east side. We finally got a piece of the pie. Fish don't fry in the kitchen, beans don't burn on the grill. Took a whole lot of trying just to get